the Cosmic Mother Audiobook series. Chapter 1, When the Void Remembered Her Name. Invocation. In the beginning there was no sound, only pulse. No wind, no wave, no name, just the hum of possibility suspended in infinite dark. The dark was not empty, it was full, heavy with everything that would ever be born, the kind of silence that listens to itself. The ancients said the universe began with a song, but before song, there was a heartbeat, the first rhythm, deep and slow, patient as soil. It was her, the mother, the infinite, the unbroken field of consciousness before creation knew it was creative. From that vast stillness, she stirred, not with haste or thunder, but with memory. She turned in her own endlessness, and warmth gathered where thought met longing. Within that warmth was an intention so tender it could split atoms, to know herself. And so, darkness folded into light, light curved back into darkness, and the two began their eternal dance, the breath and the body of the mother becoming world. This is where our story begins, not with command, not with division, but with remembrance. When the void remembered her name, the universe inhaled. What followed was everything. The origin, a story of blackness before light. Before the first sunrise, before any scripture had a mouth to speak, there was her, the vast, the silent, the holy black. Not an absence, not a void to be feared, but a presence so complete, nothing stood outside it. She held all possibilities like seeds sleeping in deep soil. She did not hurry. Eternity does not rush. For an age that had no edges, she listened to herself. She was dark water without shore, an ocean of consciousness waiting for its own name to rise like steam. When the name finally came, it wasn't a word, it was a remembering, a warmth, an ache that was love. The not yet became a yes. The yes became a hum. The hum became vibration, and vibration became the first breath, the first womb sigh of the universe. The breath rippled through her depths, and stars began as sparks in a blacksmith's night, iron bright, then cooling into constellations. Hydrogen learned the hymn of fusion. Helium laughed itself into being. Galaxies curled like coils of hair, tight and brilliant, spiraling in infinite patterns. Space stretched like new skin, and time unspooled like a ribbon set free. She was there in all of it, not above, not apart. The Great Mother didn't stand outside creation issuing orders. She was creation learning the steps to her own dance, nebulae, her incense, planets, her prayer beads, gravity, her embrace, light itself, her child, born from the dark, with a shout of becoming. 1 billion centuries played like a slow drum. Stars lived and died. Their bodies, gold, iron, carbon, drifted as ash in the holy dark waters, and she gathered that ash in her hands, pressed it like bread, and said, "Eat, world, be alive." On one small blue pearl, she planted a memory of herself so dense it could swell, split, and sing. Cells learned to assemble, to cooperate, to become. The ocean rehearsed the heartbeat. The tide learned to breathe. The moon remembered the calendar carved into women's blood. Do you hear what I am telling you? Blackness birthed light, and the darkness was good. The darkness was mother. The darkness was fertile, humming with more life than light could carry. Descent toward earth, soil, blood, and breath. The mother's remembering thickened. It clothed itself in clay and river water, in mangrove root and seabird wing. It shaped bodies and called them home. On the shore of a warm sea, a woman rose from the rhythm of waves and the weeping of stars. Her skin drank sun like a sacrament. Her coils mirrored galaxies. The first people called her mother because they knew breath came from breath, milk from blood, life from the wide unseen. The mother did not leave the sky to sit on a throne. She braided herself into seed and marrow. She chose a temple of melanin and muscle, of hips wide as the horizon. In the body of a black woman, she hid her most intimate altar, the womb, that little ocean, that secret doorway between worlds. And because forgetting is the cost of being born, she tucked the memory of who we are into places the world would overlook. The silence between heartbeats, the crease of a palm, the wet of a tear, the stillness right after exhale when everything is empty and holy at once. The shore, a woman beneath a tree by the ocean. It is evening now. The sky is a bruise of violet and copper. The ocean keeps its language. Wind combs through the leaves of a sea grape tree that leans toward the shore like an old auntie listening close. She sits beneath that tree, bare feet in warm sand. A journal she hasn't opened rests beside her thigh, salt on her lips, hair pinned up and coming undone. Today carried too many names: worker, fixer, strong one, the friend everybody calls. She has done enough saving. She has carried enough vows that were never hers. She came here because the water never lies, because the horizon is honest about distance, because sand does not judge the weight you bring to it. She came to sit still long enough for her name to rise. Waves gather and release. The tide writes its calligraphy, erases it, writes again. Breath gathers and releases. She does not want to pray. She wants to stop pretending she forgot how. The first memory is small, a sensation more than a thought, a coolness along the spine, then a warmth in the belly. Her palms tingle. The skin over her heart feels like someone opened a window there. She closes her eyes. Inside the dark of her own lids, stars appear, at first as afterimages, then as themselves. A wide field, a hush so deep it has its own pulse. Her shoulders loosen, her back lengthens. The tree behind her feels like an ancestor resting a hand between her shoulder blades. Something in the ocean shifts. The rhythm that has always been there grows unmistakable. A call and response between shore and deep, between her chest and the tide. She doesn't know if minutes or lifetimes pass. She only knows a sentence rises, wordless at first, then clear. Daughter, you are not small. Her throat tightens. That is the sentence she didn't know she needed. Daughter, you are not late. The wind answers by lifting the tiny hairs along her forearms. Daughter, you are not a translation. You are the language itself. Something releases. Her breath goes all the way down. Tears arrive without drama, like rain that already knew this ground. Two stories, weaving cosmic and personal. Narration slows and a new voice enters, not from above, but from within. It speaks with a calm that makes even the ocean listen. In the beginning, I knew myself as water without a shore. I was darkness filled with seeds, and the seeds were stars. When I remembered my name, the universe learned to breathe. I am remembering again now. Through you. Her eyes remain closed, but the boundary between eyelid and night dissolves. The sand beneath her is not separate from the desert between galaxies. The salt on her lips tastes like the tear of a newborn star. I braided myself into your DNA, carbon poems, melanin prayers. I poured oceans into your womb in miniature so that you would never mistake emptiness for absence. What you call darkness is the room where I do my best work. Sit, daughter. Let me lengthen your breath until it touches the floor of your being. Let me rinse the noise from your mind like waves rinsing glass smooth. She obeys without effort. The body recognizes its maker, the way a shore recognizes its tide. A memory that has no date returns, a grandmother's humming, a line from a dream. the way moonlight once looked on a kitchen floor when everyone else was asleep. The voice continues. You have been taught to apologize for what is most holy in you, your night knowledge, your feeling logic, your instinct to rest before you rise. Let me correct the record. Shadow is not sin. Shadow is soil. Every star you admire grew in me first. Every vision you doubt germinated in quiet. I am the mother who gathers the scattered and makes of it a world. The ocean breathes in time with her lungs. The tree behind her creaks like a wise elder changing position on a porch. The teaching, sacred darkness as fertile power. The voice is not a lecture. It is a remembering with instructions folded into it like seeds in fruit. Here is how you use what I gave you. 1. Honor the dark. When life feels dim, do not rush for light. Sit in the dusk and listen. Ask, what wants to be born here? Darkness is not a hallway to run through. It is a room to kneel in. 2. Tend the small. The first sign is often subtle, a flutter in the belly, a thought that returns twice, a person you keep meeting. Do not call these coincidences. Call them seedlings. Water them with attention. 3. Choose soil over speed. The world will offer you pace with no nourishment. Choose nourishment. Roots before fruit. Depth before display. 4. Keep the ocean near. If you cannot reach the shore, carry water with you. Drink it like prayer. Bathe like a blessing. Remember, your first address was a seed. 5. Speak your true name. Not the names the world put on you to make you useful. Those are uniforms. Your true name tastes like relief when you say it. It feels like a door unlocking from the inside. She nods. She does not need a pen or paper. The body keeps notes in bone. And daughter, do not fear your power. Power is not noise. It is steadiness. It is the calm hand on the back. It is the choice to return to your breath when you are pulled somewhere smaller. A wave comes farther up the shore and reaches her toes. Cool, insistent, friendly. The ocean is a grandmother who will not let you pretend you are thirsty. The crossing, from narration to embodiment. The narration thins like mist as the sun rises. The voice that has been speaking to her begins to speak as her. The listener feels the shift in the marrow. I inhale. The horizon inhales with me. The tide learns my name. I exhale. The stars unspool a little more memory. I am the one who watched darkness ripen into light and called it good. I am the one who pressed gold from dead stars like oil from a seed. I am the one who poured the ocean into the womb and said, "Here, carry this doorway tenderly. I have come tonight in skin you know, skin like yours, to remind you that holiness is not something you perform. It is something you are. When you are tired, come to the edge of any water, ocean, sink, tear, and I will meet you there. When you are crowded by names that are not yours, lay your hand on your belly and whisper, I remember. The remembering will answer back. There is no heaven above you more sacred than the ground beneath you. There is no light ahead more faithful than the dark within. Where I keep the stories I am not done telling. I am not done telling you. The woman opens her eyes. The tree's leaves clap once in a wind that feels like a blessing. She opens her eyes slowly, like a dawn that knows nobody can rush it. The ocean is still there, being ancient and new at the same time. She wipes her cheeks with the backs of her fingers. The salt tastes the same whether it is ocean or prayer. Her body is different without moving. The difference is not spectacle. It is orientation. She is pointed toward herself. She is arranged around a center she can feel again. On the sand beside her, the journal remains closed. She does not need to write to prove this happened. Later, she will write as a way of bowing. For now, she places her palm flat on the ground. Warm sand presses upward like a promise kept. A child's laugh rings down the beach. Somewhere, a couple is arguing softly and then not. The world continues, unthreatened by her holiness. She does not stand quickly. She lets the quiet finish speaking. When she rises, she is careful the way a midwife is careful. Nothing is forced, only accompanied. She brushes sand from the backs of her calves. She thanks the tree with a touch. She walks toward the water and stops before the first lip of foam. The ocean bows, and she bows back. Integration. How to carry the remembering. When the remembering is fresh, the world will test it, not to punish you, but to weigh the roots. On the way home, the phone will buzz with other people's urgencies. Old stories will ask for rent. The mirror will try to bargain. The day will stretch its hands and say, "Hold me too." You do not need to announce your newness. You need to practice it, quietly at first. Then with a smile, no one can quite explain. Practice looks like this. Drink water as if it were returning a piece of you. Lay your palm on your belly as you wait in line. Breathe until your shoulders drop. When you do not know, say, "I will know when I need to." Trust the pace of soil, not the pace of fear. When you are praised for your brightness, thank them, and then go home and thank your darkness. It did the heavy lifting. Touch a tree, even if it is a city tree pressed behind a fence. Trees speak slowly, but they answer. Keep the ocean near in a bowl, in a memory, in a 3-minute drive to the shore when you can. Let her correct you tenderly when you forget. You will forget. You will remember. The tide will teach you how to do both with grace. The mother's last word, for now. I am not a visitor to your life. I am its ground. Do not let anyone shame you from my room, the quiet, the dark, the unhurried space where newness gathers. Sit there every day, even if only for a breath. I will meet you. I will multiply your fragments. I will hand you your own name like a warm loaf. And when your name is heavy with meaning, share it. Feed those you love from it. Let it be fragrant. Let it be simple. I am near as your next breath and wide as every ocean. Remember me by remembering you. Closing ritual. Summary, affirmation, reflection. Summary of transformation. We began in the sacred dark where the mother remembered her name and light bloomed. We followed her descent into matter, into sea and soil and body. We sat with a woman beneath a sea grape tree and felt the ocean teach her to breathe. We witnessed the mother's voice cross the threshold from narration to embodiment, and we returned with simple ways to carry the remembering: water, breath, name, pace. Affirmation. I am the sacred night that births the dawn. My darkness is fertile. My breath is a tide, and my name is a door that opens from within. Say it aloud if you can. Let it live in your mouth. Reflection. Question. What have you been calling emptiness that might actually be the room where something worthy is gathering? Sit with that. Let the ocean in your chest answer. Then rest. The story continues, and you have already begun.